Hi there, I'm Jack Van Ryn, Mayor of the Town of Coldell. I will be giving you a council brief from our regular council meeting that was held July 15th, 2024. And on the agenda this afternoon, we had two public hearings, and the first one was under Agenda 5.1, and we had our Director of Growth and Investment and Deputy CAO Cameron Mills present on Land Use Bylaw Amendment 889-P-04-24 regarding rezoning urban reserve to direct control. And this was regarding consideration for second and third readings of the land use amendment that I just mentioned to rezone a portion of land location northeast 4, 9, 20 west of the 4th from urban reserve to direct control for the purpose of considering the establishment of a eco dairy operation at the existing Elk Creek dairy site. So to put this into context, Elk Creek Dairy is located when you're coming into Coldell from the west at the first set of traffic lights. You turn south and you'll notice those blue silos approximately half a mile to the south, and that's where the dairy operation currently sits. And we received an application from the applicant of Elk Creek Dairy to rezone that land. And the land in question are located in southwest Coldell and serve as an existing location for the Elk Creek Dairy Farms Limited that I just mentioned. With the current zoning in place, there is no opportunity to expand or improve the existing dairy operation. The applicant is interested in pursuing a rezoning in order to modernize the operation while also adding a tourism and education element by the way of the establishment of an eco dairy operation. In order to do so, administration has determined that the first step required in the process would be to establish direct control zoning so council can review more detailed plans and ultimately determine if the applicant's proposal is the best interest of the community. So under direct control, and we've used that on other areas within the town of Coldell, anything and everything to do with that application has to come before council for approval. So by providing second and third reading, which took place at the meeting this afternoon, it's going to be under direct control now. And now that it's approved, it does not limit council's ability to consider approval or to withhold approval of a more detailed proposal at the development permit stage. So under direct control, it starts the application process, and there's many things or many hoops to jump through, many hurdles to jump over before ultimately a development permit is given. And that includes provincial government's approval of the proposed eco dairy as well. And to our understanding, this will be the first eco dairy in Alberta if it moves forward. So again, second and third reading was passed at our meeting this afternoon. So then the next step can be taken, and stay tuned, and we will keep you up to date for further developments regarding the eco dairy. And just a little bit of background on that, when it came to us for first reading, that's an opportunity where this facility is going to be located right in a residential area, and all the controls in, like the first comment that we hear, well, what about the odor? And with this particular facility, that's going to be all looked after, so it'll have very minimal impact. So there'll be people's whose new homes back onto this farm, and they can enjoy living in a municipality while looking out their back window, looking at a farm, a dairy farm in this case. Moving on to the second public hearing, and that was Land Use Bylaw Amendment 895-P-06-24, and that was regarding rezoning institutional / recreation to residential R1A. And again, we had our Director of Growth and Investment and Deputy CAO, Cameron Mills, present on that. So this was to consider what I just mentioned, the rezoning, and that was to accommodate phase 1 of the development of the Malloy Landing neighborhood. So this new neighborhood is going to be located by the new Shift multi-use recreation facility and the new Prairie Winds secondary school. First reading of this bylaw was passed on June 27th, and the little bit of history to that, the town received an application to rezone the portion of that land, and approval of this application will support the development of phase 1 of the residential lands within the Northwest Area Structure Plan, lying directly south of 16th Ave and directly east of 26th Street. And this is located as you go to the new Shift Rec Center. You'll see a big sign that's being put up by the developer that shows the lot layout for the first phase of taking place in Malloy Landing. So that's quite exciting. And I'm going to have this one and every other staff report. I'll have a link in the comments section to our staff reports. And every agenda item that's marked in blue, you just click on it and it'll take you to the corresponding staff report that gives it in way more detail than what I'm providing here as part of my recap. So the other item that came up regarding Malloy Landing, we passed what's known as the outline plan. And little background on that, the Northwest Area Structure Plan that was adopted in June of 2023, the outline plan is the next phase of the planning process associated with this area of Coaldale. So the Malloy Landing outline plan provides the next level associated with the eventual subdivision and development of the lands within the previously adopted area structure plan. And unlike that area structure plan, an outline plan is adopted by simple resolution of council, which we did at our meeting this afternoon. And the elements of the plan include technical information, including consideration of topography, existing on-site infrastructure, a traffic impact assessment, wetland inventory assessment, biophysical assessment, historical resources assessment, and environmental impact information, and geotechnical assessment. So again, for a developer, this is another hoop they got to jump through as part of the process. We'll have, as part of the staff report, a basic layout of the Northwest Area Structure Plan that's being approved. And I encourage you to go take a look at it to see what's going to take place as far as the total development. And one thing I found that was kind of interesting that Cameron Mills mentioned is that when this new area of Coaldale is fully developed, well, that based on 2.5 people living per household, that would add 1,400 people to the population of Coaldale over the many, many years it's going to take to fully develop. And then we had our Chief Financial Officer and Deputy CAO, Kyle Beauchamp, under bylaws and policies, bring up a borrowing bylaw 894-B-06-24. And this is regarding a potable water reservoir that we're building just to the west of Coaldale. So if you know where Boss Sod Farms is, directly across the road, we are putting in a underground potable water reservoir. So currently we get our potable water from the city of Lethbridge, and then it comes into Coaldale, goes through our infrastructure and carries on to McCain's for their processing of their potato plant. Because of McCain's is doubling in size, and that's a great announcement for the town of Coaldale and Lethbridge County. It'll bring much employment to the region. Because of that, we need to make sure that Coaldale has enough potable water. And with this project that we're doing, it will give us enough storage capacity. And my understanding is that it'll hold as much water as 2.5 Olympic-sized swimming pools and even more. The total estimated cost that's been approved by council is $13,038,000, of which $4,641,971 came by way of grant funding. And we also, because of the Malloy Landing, we're able to get off-site levies for that from the developer in the amount of $2.8 million and change. And we're going to take some money from our reserves, $1.1 million and change, and that leaves a balance owing of $4.6 million and change that we need to pass a borrowing bylaw. And originally, we passed that bylaw on June 27th, and we discussed it further at our meeting this afternoon. And our CFO, as always, does an excellent job with his presentation. And we passed second and third reading for that borrowing bylaw. And that will be based over 15 years. And that's something we need to get this project done. The next item that we talked about was, we had under departmental reports, we had our Director of Protective Services and Fire Chief Clayton Rutberg present on quarter 1 and 2 regarding our protective services. So the first half of 2024, according to Clayton, has seen a steady activity across all divisions within the Protective Services Department. Municipal enforcement and emergency services have maintained consistent call volumes, while emergency management has been busy with plan updates, exercises, events, and training. When it comes to emergency services, they have remained busy throughout these first 2 quarters. Call volume has remained steady and is currently on pace with the 2023 as they move into what is typically their busier quarter. Although the call volume has remained fairly similar, they did not see a spike in personnel hours. They did see a spike, mainly associated with one large event within the town. They had nearly 400 hours attributed to that one call in May of 2024, and that fire occurred at the 2.0 recycling plant. And although call volume has remained relatively stable throughout 2024, staff with Coaldale and District Emergency Services have been engaged in many other activities essential to their operations. In 2023, Emergency Services had significantly lower fire prevention activities while filling open positions. With their staff at full capacity this year within Emergency Services, they have already more than doubled last year's fire inspections. Much of their fire inspection activities in quarter 1 and 2 were concentrated within the town of Coaldale, and moving into quarters 3 and 4, they'll be focusing on Lethbridge County inspections, for which the town of Coaldale has the contract for. In addition to hall tours, public events, smoke detector replacement, and fire investigations have kept their fire prevention officer and other staff busy throughout the year. So finally, another significant component of the emergency services team is their training. This first half of the year was just as busy as ever for training within their teams. Training typically focuses on various core competencies each quarter to allow other members to be proficient in multiple skills demanded by diverse services. One significant milestone with training was completing the recruiting class for 8 of our newest probationary firefighters. Our emergency services not only has a full roster, but are seeing a significant engagement level from all our members. So there's a lot of interest in becoming employed in the fire services or emergency services industry, which is excellent for the town of Kola because it provides much needed volunteers for our organization. On the municipal enforcement side of things has also been busy, and they've dealt with 62 dog-related complaints in the year's first half, and over a 6-month period, 18 dogs were placed into new homes. Their members work closely to ensure a high standard of service and animal control, and will continue to seek innovative ways to provide these services. And thanks to our new PAWS, our Pet Animal Welfare Society that's newly formed, they work hand in hand with our municipal enforcement. So there's several other items that was touched on by Clayton, and again, I'll direct you to the staff report that I will have in the comment section, the link to the agenda. And then under information items, we had 2. First one was the newsletter and calendar for July and August for the Coaldale Public Library. I'll have that again as part of the agenda package. And back to our Pet Animal Wellness Society, we have their meeting minutes listed as well. So it was a very busy meeting. It was our last meeting for the summer, and we will reconvene on September 16th for our next council meeting. I will still be here throughout that time, except for taking a few days off. If you have any questions, comments, reach out to myself. I'll have my contact information and my email at the end of this video. And also any other member of council is always available as well. And you can reach them if you go through the Town of Kola website, look under the government tab, and there'll be another link to our members of council, and there'll be email addresses for all of them. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. So other than that, I wish everyone a very, very great summer. Make sure you get out there and enjoy the sun that we've been having. Have some really good family time. And other than that, I look forward to running into you on the street and having a further conversation. So take care, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.